Dustin Poirier, holy smokes, what an absolute legend. It's confirmed that he is retiring. So you know he's going to go out on his shield. And no better person to go to battle with than Max Holloway. Okay, boys and girls, welcome back to Uncle Red's channel. Let's get serious. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the great Dustin Diamond Poirier and the great Max Holloway. Now, these guys go to battle for the third time, believe it or not. And this video is brought to you by Prize Picks. It's so simple. Go to the App Store, download Prize Pick. You can pick more or less on your favorite players, NBA, UFC, boxing, soccer, baseball. If you think you know sports, it's the app to play on. Download Prize Picks. Use code TIMBO when you sign up. And you place a $5 lineup, and you'll get $50 instantly, no strings attached. Dustin Poirier, 36 years old, 30 wins, 9 losses. A real OG, and he's been in the UFC for a long time. He got in the UFC in 2011. That's a clean 14 years. He's been in it. Chun Sung Jung, Cub Swanson, Conor McGregor, Bobby Green, Michael Johnson, Jim Miller, Eddie Alvarez, Anthony Pettis, Justin Gaethje, Eddie Alvarez again, Max Holloway, Khabib, Dan Hooker, Conor McGregor twice, Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler, Justin Gaethje, Benoit Saint-Denis, Islam Makhachev. It's like, holy smokes. Holy smokes. What an absolute legend. It's confirmed that he is retiring. Okay, so this is a retirement fight, and no better person to go to battle with than Max Holloway. Boxer, primarily a boxer. Good jiu-jitsu. He was talking about it. I was watching some of his vlogs. He likes to train jiu-jitsu out of fight camp, and then when fight camp comes around, do all of his striking, a little bit of sparring here and there. But Max Holloway, absolute OG, and he's only 33 years old. 33 years old, 26 wins with 8 losses. And now he is 3-2 in his last 5. Okay, he took on Ilia Topuria and got cracked with that left hook. This is the first fight ever in his career he's coming back after a KO like that. That could affect some people. That can affect some people big time mentally. Max Holloway is not one of them. He is a Hawaiian gangster, a real gangster. He's going to come in there ready to rumble. Before that, he had that nasty KO over Justin Gaethje. Body, head. 1 second left in the 5th round. One of the most insane KOs I've ever been. We were cage side for that, and that was absolutely insane. Second left and fucking slumps him. Holy smokes. Chan Sung Jung KO'd him. Arnold Allen, and then he fought Ilia Topuria. So he's 3-2 in his last 5, taking on the southpaw boxer from American Top Team, Dustin the Diamond. And Dustin the Diamond's 2-2, well, 2-3 in his last 5. But again, versus Islam Makhachev. KO'd Benoit Saint-Denis. Justin Gaethje smacked him with that head kick. Remember, he blocked it, blocking it with those 4-ounce gloves. Boom. Smacked him, rattled him, knocked him out. That was gnarly. And then he submitted Michael Chandler. Then he got submitted by Charles Oliveira. Before that, smoked Conor McGregor twice in a row, then Dan Hooker. So we're in for a serious one here. So let's take a peek back at when they fought last. Now, their last fight was April 13th, 2019 at UFC 236. Let's see some things that stick out here. Okay, bell rings, and we got Dustin Poirier, who's primarily a southpaw, but he does walk into his opposite stance a lot. He walks into his opposite stance, throws overhand rights. When it comes to boxing, Dustin Poirier has got to be in the top 5. Max Holloway's probably damn near in the top 5 too. So the Diamond, southpaw versus orthodox, Max Holloway, who Max Holloway is one of the best ever at mixing them up. He was in the UFC since he was 20 years old. Okay, so he's grown up completely in the UFC, and he's one of the best at mixing them up. Going to the legs, going to the head, going to the body, keeping his range, not over swinging on his punches. He's more of like an output puncher. You saw it with Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje trying to crack Max Holloway the whole time with 1-2 shot combinations, and Max Holloway was just floating out of the way. Southpaw, orthodox, both these guys kind of looking up to set up their backhand, their back leg. Here we go, Max right hand to the body. And Dustin walking forward, covering distance, and smacking the leg. again, the thing that sticks out to me is how's Max going to come back after the KO. He's going to come back like a gangster, though. He really is. At 155 pounds, he's way more dangerous. Okay, let's take a peek at this combo here. Max floating back. Dustin's orthodox. Orthodox where his balance probably isn't quite as good as when it's southpaw. Max southpaw, boom. Waits for Dustin to throw the right hand and counters with the left hook. Floats out of the way, bink, counters with the left hook, drops him. In boxing, that's an 8 count. You put your hands on the mat, 8 count. So he drops him in the first round and gets back on pressure. And watch Max when he's on the fence here. Tuning people up. Like just small feints like this. Watch him change levels, look at the body like he's going to go to the body. Like he's completely going to go to the body, and then he comes over the top, boom, boom, boom. And throws some just nasty combos when he puts people on the fence. But at 155, Max is, I've seen the guy when he's out of shape. He's around 190. 190. Cutting at 145, you're losing a bunch of muscle. You're losing a bunch of muscle around your traps, your neck, it's your brain. It's way easier to get knocked out when you're cutting that much. I think Max Holloway at 155 is much, much better. Dustin known for coming out there and just making it a nasty first round. Not giving a fuck about later rounds. Now that was a sweet combo there. Let's check this one out. Walks forward with the left hand. Changes levels. Disguises that right hand. Walks forward from southpaw into orthodox. Disguises the right hand. Boom. And puts one on the lips. Thankfully, Max was floating back at the same time, so it didn't clean his clock. Now he's putting on the pressure. Once Dustin starts flurrying on you, he's just so nasty. Chin tucked. He's ready to go. His chin's below his shoulders the whole time. He's looking through the top of his eyes, so his chin's not up here, flurrying where he's going to get smoked with a counter shot. Left hand, right hook, hurt Max. Someone like Max, you got to be careful because they got such a good chin. They're like Cheeto Vera. They're just going to be there. Max is hurt, severely hurt. Dustin, orthodox. Look at he's loading that. He's bringing that right hand from way downtown from his hips where there's going to be a lot of power on it. And he doesn't rip it. So now we're orthodox. Boom. Back into southpaw. Walks forward with a 10-piece combo. Nothing lines up. Now southpaw here. Floats out, and they're just kind of both good boxers. And you can be a good boxer, but being a good boxer with 4-ounce gloves is a whole different story. Your defense is a little different. Everything's a little different. Slugging. 120 left. We're in for a real treat. Here. Nice little Muay Thai sweep. Back to piecing. Throwing some home runs. Throwing some home run hitters. Now he's got Max wobbled. One minute left in the first. Again, you got to be careful walking forward with those combos. You get counterpunched at the wrong time. You don't have that foot behind you to catch yourself. You get dropped. Clean 1-2 down the pipe, straight to the lips. Slipping outside, counterpunching. Sweet boxing match here. You see it a lot more in MMA because the distance is so far away. It's not like boxing where you can just sit there in the pocket. The distance is so far away, so when you're trying to really throw and reach someone, you end up falling naturally into the opposite stance. These guys are good. These guys are both used to doing that, throwing a hard backhand where they're in the opposite stance now, and then continuing on with their combos. You don't see that too much in boxing. some guys who did it in the past, Miguel Cotto, he'd walk forward in the opposite stance and throw combos. It takes a lot of skill and experience to be able to do that safely, and a good chin like these guys. Max Holloway's just known for his cardio too. 5 rounds is an advantage for Max. First round, banger of a first round. Good God. So let's move on to the second here. Hard to say who won that round. They could have gave it to Max. That round could have really went either way. Here we go, coming out. Max putting on the pressure, jabbing to the body. Ready to push off his front foot, float out of range. Dustin in a nice, good stance here. Now he's digging the guts, trying to invest in later in the fight. Think about those body shots. Sometimes those body shots don't affect the person right away, but they start adding up later in the round. But you never know with these judges. You can crack someone clean to the body and you don't know what these judges are seeing, especially depending on their background. Double jab right hand from Max. That's nice. Let's see if we get into some of the wrestling exchanges here, or when he cracks them. So we'll fast forward a little bit. Max just staying busy. Like more of an output puncher, just almost like Nick Diaz and Nate Diaz back in the day. Let's get into some of the later rounds where we get some wrestling exchanges and how they go. So flying knee, Dustin Poirier slips it. This is third round, 50 seconds. He gets head outside, locks his hands. Max locks up a guillotine. So right here, Dustin needs to flare the legs, get outside the legs so he's not in trouble with this guillotine. His hands are locked. So the longer you wait when your hands are locked, the harder it's going to get to finish. And Max is a vet, so Max doesn't flop for the guillotine like a lot of people did. Like you saw it against Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor had the guillotine, had a good bite on the guillotine, and he wasn't super confident in it. He kind of thought about it, and as soon as he thought about it, that gave Dustin the perfect time to pass to the right side. And that was kind of the beginning of the end for Conor. But look at Max. Had a good bite on the neck. Let's go. He's going to try to pull that grip above his butt. Tall person keeping his feet on the mat. Splits his legs real wide, making his legs heavy and his legs wide. He's got a good whizzer on that far side. Small little elbow. And then when they have their hands locked, you see how he's switching his hips? You can switch your hips just for a second, just to get their grip back above your butt. Dinking them with some elbows right in that soft spot right behind the ear. Tap yourself there a little bit. That's a nasty spot to get. You really rattle your bell there. So it's a dangerous place to hang out. So look at Max's defense, switching his legs, forcing him to a single leg. Dustin's head's kind of low, so Dustin kind of gives up on the takedown. And a deep whizzer there by Max, and that's the round. So a lot of energy goes into those wrestling exchanges for both guys. Here we go. Nice clean 1-2 by Max. Fourth round here. Max is a brown belt, Dustin's a black belt. So here we go. Let's see how he gets into this shot. Floats back southpaw. Max steps forward for a jab, kind of squares up his feet, and Dustin gets into a nice head outside high crotch. Changes levels to a high crotch, moves to a double leg, drives him against the fence. Has his hands locked here to see if he can finish. Hands locked. Big lift right away, puts him to his butt. Max hits his hip and starts to hit a switch. Starts attacking the head. This is a good job by Max. He wants to keep his head higher than Dustin's. Remember, in the wrestling scrambles, whoever's higher is going to win. So let's see if Dustin can advance here. He's got the head stuffed, looking to belly out. Driving into him on the knees. Max looking to get his hands inside, fight the grip right away. Goes head outside high crotch here. He's got that neck wrapped, but now he's got the neck wrapped, and then Max has got a stiff arm and wrist control on the far side, so that's going to make it hard for Dustin to finish. Circles off, knee to the guts, and now we're back toe to toe, baby. Toe to toe, they're slugging again. They both look fatigued, but both these guys are such dogs. They can be completely fatigued and still just scrapping, baby. Max is back on the pressure. Let's fast forward here a little bit to the next event. Okay, we got 45 seconds left in the fourth. Let's see the punch count so far. Round 3, 52 strikes by Holloway in round 3 alone. Jesus. Round 1, Poirier landed 65. Okay, so it kind of fouls into a double here. Max got a good bite on arm and guillotine. Good bite on arm and guillotine. But Max is a vet. He doesn't just flop for the guillotine and give up a takedown. Dustin's hoping he does that so he can pass. Or get an easy finish and be on top. Max got a fat split over his head. Dustin's hands are locked. 20 seconds left. He probably knows that. One more finish might look good on the judges' scorecards. Let's see if he can get the finish. 10 seconds. Nice little knee to the gut. And then Dustin turns the corner. This is nice. This is nice here by Dustin. So Max is sprawling all of his weight on him. So now watch Dustin kind of knee slide, turn the corner, just like this. Boom. Turns the corner, runs the double. Oh, but good balance by Max, and Max keeps his head square. Max goes for a quick anaconda, dives underneath. That was sweet. That was sweet. Here we go. A little bit of chatter. Little bit of chatter. Round 5, they come out slugging. Here we go. They come out slugging. Both absolutely gassed. Just fucking cracking each other here. Max kind of forces the clinch. Dustin goes over-unders, drops into a double. Max got a nice whizzer again. Good reaction right off the takedown. So at this point, it doesn't even look like Dustin's really trying to finish, but when you got someone pinned on the fence, it looks good in the judge's eyes. They split off. 10 seconds left. Boom. Sitting in the pocket. Boom, boom, and just slugging. What a sweet, sweet fight here. Sweet fight here. And Dustin's retirement fight. It is going to be good. We're in for a serious treat. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like and subscribe button. It helps me out more than you know. And then comment your thoughts below. Two legends going at it. Dustin the Diamond Poirier's retirement fight. So you know he's going to go out on his shield. We're in for a real treat, boys and girls. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you later. Love y'all. Bye-bye.